Good evening. Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News. Thunder, lightning, and heavy rain are rolling through Summit County, the rainiest day of the rainiest month this summer. The crystallized weather station in Dillon shows 2.8 inches of rain so far this month, 0.9 inches in the past 24 hours, most of it falling since 3 o'clock. And if you think of it like snowfall, that's more than 2 feet of light, fluffy powder this July. About a foot of it coming in just one day. We've got a local flash flood watch until 9 o'clock tonight, and if you're heading off to the American Music Legacy Festival in Dillon tonight, gates are delayed until 6 p.m. That's 1 hour later than they were supposed to be. Rain's been falling all up and down the I-70 mountain corridor, closing Glenwood Canyon twice this week. At 2:30 today, Mike Goolsby with CDOT gave an update on what's happening in the canyon.
Currently, we have both directions closed during the last 24 hours. As you all know, we got an exorbitant amount of rain.
Goolsby says they are battling two problems. First, on the elevated westbound lanes.
The drain system in the middle of the interstate is plugged, and so every time we get that drain unplugged, more water inundates that.
The second and bigger problem is impacting eastbound lanes, where the Colorado River itself is now running up against the interstate wall.
Last night, one of the debris flows that came out was in the Devil's Hole, which is basically on the other side of the interstate. This debris flow was quite large. It basically dammed off the river, and it found the path of least resistance when it started to flow again. And what that path of least resistance was the bike path and up against the eastbound travel portion of the highway.
Dozens of reporters were tuning in, and everyone wanted to know, when will I-70 through the canyon open again?
That's the million-dollar question, I guess, because we were more worried about the road surface. We didn't think we'd be impacted by the stuff across the river. So sorry, I can't give you a more specific answer to that one, but I just don't know the answer.
When the interstate does reopen, CDOT will start with the elevated westbound lanes. Eastbound depends on how fast they can divert the river back to its main flow and how much erosion they find. Around 3 a.m. Mountain Time was opening ceremony for the 2021 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, and Krystal 93 correspondent Matt Renoux of 9 News says it was the most surreal opening ceremony he has ever seen.
You know, here's this humongous stadium, this national stadium they built, and some of this with taxpayer dollars out there, and not a fan was in it. I think they had about I read 900 people maybe in that entire stadium. During the opening ceremony, most of those, the athletes coming and going, some members of the media who were filming it, and then dignitaries and staff.
For the first time in years, Matt is not on site for the Olympics due to COVID protocols, and he sympathizes with the sports fans forced to watch from home.
Like hosting a party, and then you don't get to go to your party.
But Matt will still be covering the games and more than 25 Colorado athletes from right here in their home state. Keep it tuned to Krystal over the next 2 weeks as we keep checking in with Matt. In sports, the Rockies play the Dodgers tonight in LA at 8:10. And in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, Copper Mountain is hosting a free disc golf tournament this Sunday starting at 9:30 a.m. Players get 1 round each with prizes for first through third. It's a good tournament for beginner to intermediate players. Get signed up online at coppercolorado.com. Phil Lindemann, Krystal, 93 News.